Everyone knows what he has to do. People might say, "Oh, but you're a boxing purist and you're a technical boxer, and you can't just run into Usyk." Of course, you can't run into him, but you can't stand off him. So if you stand off him and you don't press the fight and you don't impose your strength and size early on, Derek Chisora has 1/10 of the boxing ability that Anthony Joshua has, but he imposes strength and his size on him early on. So is he as durable as Chisora? Maybe not, but does he have more physicality? Yes. So I think he's going to have to get in on his chest early on. As he starts fatiguing him after 4 or 5 rounds of non-stop pressure, and every time they get close, don't try and punch. Just get close and hold him, grab him, twist him, turn him, lean on him, impose that actual size. And then after 5, 6 rounds, then track it to him, drop back, track it to him, punch. You have to start changing things up, because he can't just do the same thing, or else he won't be able to actually land the shots. But because that's a pattern that Chisora falls into. But if you then start using your drop backs and your combinations and nudges on the inside and your jab as well, then he'll have success. But one thing saying it from me standing here, and one thing doing it with Anthony Joshua. But that's the way to try and beat Usyk.
Be more loose, and just have that. Look. Get rid of all them instructions, and just be yourself. Loosen off and have a fight, basically. Get in, use his jab more, which he neglected last time. And look, all easier said than done against a super operator like Usyk. Yeah, because this guy, he needs millimeters to get through. That's the difference. So what I will respect about Joshua is the fact that he's taking on he fought him. He could have went round the edges, but he took him on, didn't he? So what? He got beat. People's easy to write people off in this game. I'm not about that. It's a fight that he can win, and right tactics, more loose up the top end. Lose that, he just be more loose, ride with the shots and stuff like that. So he can do it. So he's a bigger man and he hits harder. So if he can just put the other few little bits, we're only talking small increments here, but small increments cost you in fights. So if he can adjust, not big things, if he can adjust 3 or 4 little things, that's one big thing. Do you understand me? So that's it. So the guy's got the best of trainers, so that's me just talking as a fan. That's it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
If he's just reverting back to the type of fight he was going forward, that's not good enough. Because the AJ that went forward against your Dillian Whites and your people back in those days, that's not good enough to beat Usyk. He has to add more, and he has to have picked up more and be comfortable with more going into this fight. I think he needs to work that body, take Usyk's legs away, sharpness away, expect to miss up top. Early dose. Don't look for the perfect shot with his right hand to the head when he does throw, because he hits that hard. If you can increase the volume of it, that's going to have an effect on the legs. If you increase the volume on the body shots, not loading up on single shots maybe, but increase the volume a little bit, then that's going to have more of an effect. Because we know that he's a fantastic combination puncher, and he's turned around a result before, so he can do. He knows mentally, for him going into a fight, he knows he can say to himself, okay, well, I've been beaten convincingly before, and I've turned it around when nobody expected me to do it, so I can do it again. That's how he can look at things.
Is there a fight in Joshua's career where he's shown the type of style needed against Usyk in this rematch, do you think?
Not for me. That's what I'm saying, is if you look at him as a pressure fighter in the past, is that good enough to beat Usyk? No. That's why he's got to have that same sort of looking to, pressurise him, lean on him, grab on him, bully him, but he needs to have the feet to get into that range. And he needs to be able to put Usyk into positions where Usyk's uncomfortable.
For me, what he was missing in their fight, Joshua, he was missing the coordination in between right hand and left hand. Okay, beat Usyk, number one thing, Joshua had to have his straight punch, right hand. I mean, just right in the pipe. What we said in boxing. So after that, he had to finish it up with a left hand, left hook. So the main combination for AJ is a right with left hook, right with left uppercut. So in that fight, he was only one punch. As a heavyweight, he don't need a big combination of punch. Yeah, very simple, very, very basic. I think if we go more to basic, and I believe now with Robert Garcia, Robert Garcia will be we will take the best of AJ, and I hope everything going fine with them.
He's got the attributes, as you just said, the tools, the attributes. He's got size, he's got strength, he's got power, and he's been in some great fights in his career so far, and it's up to him to implement a different approach, a more aggressive approach, and against someone who is highly intelligent boxing-wise, but he is a smaller man, and he has to overcome that style and break that rhythm of Oleksandr Usyk. Now, if Anthony Joshua didn't have them attributes, it's a no-win situation. But he has got them attributes. It's up to him to implement. He's got to stick them long but fast, rigid levers in the chest of Usyk, settle him down a little bit, and let his hands go. That's what he's got to do, in my opinion.
Anthony Joshua, what he needs to do is grab his balls and go get him. Honestly, he's a bigger boy. He hits harder. All he has to do is believe in his ability, believe in his punch, believe in his punching power. Because if he dances around the ring like he did the first time, he will not win the fight. He needs to go get Usyk. He needs to go get him. He cannot give him time to think, because he's smart, he moves, and he does not need to hesitate. He needs to go in there, grab his balls, and go and put him away. He can, because he has all the tools. All he needs to do is believe in his ability and believe in his power, and he can win.
He's just got to take the blueprint from what Chisora done with Usyk. He's got to put him under pressure. Put his shots together and keep him backed up on the ropes, because if you give Usyk any room, you see what he done last time. He just boxes so smartly, defensively he's good, so you've got to rough him up, use your weight advantage and do what Chisora done really. He's got to be rough in there, do you know what I mean? He's got to pull him around a little bit and, rough him up and use his weight advantage, size advantage, and because you can't just stand off of him, he's just such a complete fighter, Usyk. If you stand off him, he'll just box your ears off.